reached the High Fashion Hotline.
Good news, fall is here. Bad news, my family style has fallen out of fashion.
Get to Old Navy.
Old Navy?
Yep, fall's best styles are on sale now at Old Navy for up to 50% off store-wide at Old Navy and OldNavy.com.
Up to 50% off store-wide? I think I'm falling in love.
Plus, grab jeans from just $15 for adults, $10 for kids, and comfy, cozy sweaters to fall for from just $15 for adults, $12 for kids.
Ooh, new sweaters and jeans on sale? Old Navy, here we come.
High fashion, Old Navy. Valid 10/10 to 10/19. Select styles only.
Blog Talk Radio. Unmarket Your Business, the podcast. Born out of the need to share strategies and techniques that really work to market your business. Think yellow page ads and cold calls are your only choices? That's so last century. You're about to learn tested, tried and true marketing techniques you can apply and master, ones that feel authentic instead of salesy, strategies that are true to who you are and how you want to present yourself to your ideal clients. Let's join our host, Carol Joyce Dunlop, in the studio now and allow business success to move forward. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, Carol Joyce Dunlop. How are you doing today? I hope everything is going well for you. It is for me. It is not a hot day in hot Atlanta today. It's kind of a warm, muggy, overcast kind of day, but it's still all good, and I hope everyone out there is having an awesome day, doing what you need to do, having a great time. So we're coming down to the end of our month where we're talking about HARO, Help a Reporter Out. I did two episodes already on this, and we actually had Bernadette Latrice Harris, who was on last week, and she was talking about her experience before I kind of explained what HARO is and how to use it and all kind of good stuff. And today I'm going to actually give you two ways to actually benefit from getting picked up by HARO. You know, someone actually says, hey, I want to use your post or your query your pitch that you sent in, and I'm going to post it. So what do you do after that happens? Because you worked so hard on it, you know, you've waited for the time to come, and now it's here. So I'm going to share some ways with you that you can actually utilize this. Two of them, they're going to take they're really going to take some work on your part, but hey, you can do it. You can do it. I promise you. So let's get into a little bit of what HARO is. HARO is a service that helps reporters who are looking for sources and story information and content in order to write a story, and hooks them up with people who have the stories, the sources, people just like you and me, experts who really want their story told or who have information that someone else can benefit from. The reporters, the people who use HARO, are looking for you. So you can go to helpareporterout.com, and you can sign up for free, and you will get these messages 3 times a day. They come, I think it's 5 a.m., 12 noon, and like 5 p.m. or something, sometime around that, every single day. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who use HARO. I mean, it's just phenomenal how it can actually help your business. And the main thing that it does, actually, when you have a story and when a reporter has a need for what you provide, your story, your service, your information, the data that's in your head, a piece of your brain, and you actually give it to them and they create a story around it, or finish writing a book around it, or have you as a guest on one of the shows around it, then what do you get from that? You get exposure. And when you get exposure, other people see you. Other people say, hey, there's an expert I could use. There's someone who I really, could get to know or maybe partner with or maybe even buy something from. So you never know how it's going to help you in your business moving forward. So it's a really good thing to get involved with HARO. And it's not going to cost you anything. The only thing it costs you is some of your time. So who can't give up some of their time to actually get some exposure to hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people on the chance that you get picked up? Okay, so we're going to go over what you need to do. And let me just back up a little bit. I want to tell you how the service works. So, again, it comes out 3 times a day, every day. So you got to look for the queries to come. Once you sign up, they'll start coming right away. And they have everything is categorized. So it could be healthcare, it could be biogenetics, it could be business, it could be finance. They have these categories, and then people who need information under those categories will post their query for what they're looking for. They could be looking for men, they could be looking for women, they could be looking for men and women, people in a certain age group, people in a certain part of the country. It just depends on, what they're writing a story about. They could write for major news outlets like Huffington Post and Wall Street Journal. They could write for smaller news outlets but still get a lot of exposure. It just depends. I mean, just think of where people could come from. They could be writing a book and want you to be a part of it. I've even seen people get on there, get exposure from HARO, and they've gotten on TV shows because they use HARO to kind of, find out, I need a guest, I need him tomorrow, or I need him next day or whatever. So it just depends on what's going on, and you could be caught up in that mix and really, get some great exposure from it. Now, I got a lot of exposure for my previous business, which was a personal training and weight loss coaching business. I got a lot of exposure. I found JV partners. I found guests for my radio show. And I have really been, transferring that over to what I'm doing now with web design and social media with Unmarket Your Business. So I've gotten people interviews, and it's just been great. So I wanted to share that with you. And I actually wrote a whole chapter about this in my book, Unmarket Your Business, 10 Ways for Savvy Entrepreneurs to Stand Out, Stop Struggling, and Start Profiting. So I lay out that whole thing of what HARO is, how you can use it, and how to really manage those queries when they come in. So today I'm going to go a step further and tell you what to do when the stuff comes in. So first of all, I have something from Christopher Gimmer. He's a co-founder of Snappa. And he said when replying to a query, you should also include your author bio and the link to your website. Because as I said before on the other on the first show that we did about this and in the book, you never know if the reporter or the person who's looking for the information is going to connect with you and say, hey, I saw your stuff and I'm going to include it in my book or my article or whatever. You never know if they're going to do that. They may alert you, they may not. Now, when I used it to find out what business owners thought about unmarketing and what that meant to them so I could put it in the book, I contacted everyone that I accepted and said, oh, thank you so much for sending this in. This is going to be in the book, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to contact them again when the book comes out. So that's going to be great. So they'll know that it was actually accepted, a human looked at it, and they can look for it in the book. But that doesn't always happen. So definitely include your author bio and a link to your website. You want to make it very, very, very easy for the person who's getting this query, because usually they're on deadline and they don't have a lot of time to be looking around trying to find, oh, I just found a great quote. I found some awesome information. I will use this person. And if they don't see your author bio and you link to your website, they may not even use you, or they may include it and not use your info. How crazy would that be? It kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing here. So you want to write out your bio exactly how you want it to appear in the article. Keep it short, make it like a sentence or two, because they're just going to copy and paste it. And he said that this reply took him a few minutes. The reply that he showed in where I got this from the article from their blog said it only took him a few minutes to write, and he went really in depth with his reply. It wasn't just I'm asking you a question like what color is the sky, and he put blue and sent it back. He did something like the color of the sky is blue, and this is why it's blue, and it usually looks like this for a long time, and these are some key factors that makes it blue, and this is how long it stays blue, and these are some points that will help out. I mean, he went into, it was almost a blog post. I mean, it wasn't very, very, very long because nobody's going to read that, but it was bullet pointed, and he put the bullets in there. He put an opening sentence. He put a closing sentence, and it was pretty short. A few minutes, he wrote it out, boom, he sent it off. And he was contacted a couple of days later asking for his top tip regarding content marketing best practices. So he gave that, and then they let him know that the article was going to be published, and he landed a link and some exposure for Snappa. So that was awesome. So sometimes they'll use what you sent. Sometimes they'll look at it and say, I want to get in touch with this person and find out a little bit more. and then they'll contact you. I know Bernadette, who was on last week, said that she sent in a reply. The reporter actually called her and said, hey, this looks like a great story. Can I get you to write it? And she did. So you just never know. So that brings about the first thing that you're gonna do to actually leverage your exposure. Build backlinks on your website. So backlinks are just one website mentioning another website and linking to it. So that's what happened with Christopher Gimmer's article. It was listed in Inc.com. It was listed online, Inc.com, and they included his website and a link back to his website, right? So people could, see more about it. So Google actually likes backlinks, and it actually relies on them. The whole idea behind them is that they help to tell Google what is good and useful out there. That's from Rob DeLore, who is a senior solutions consultant at THEE Design. So Google likes backlinks a lot. It really gives you more authority if a website links back to you. Now, not every backlink is a good backlink. You have to make sure that where it's coming from is a good, reputable site. Now, of course, if you get something from Inc. or Wall Street Journal or Huffington Post or something, hey, that's in the ballpark. But if you're getting backlinks from, and usually this will not happen with HARO, I have to say, with some like link farm or link page and all they got is links up there, Google is not going to give you that much credibility for that backlink. But the places that you get backlinks from on HARO, what I found out are outstanding, they are reputable, they are authoritative, and you can really count on them. I haven't gotten any kind of bad stuff from them, or I said, oh God, I don't want to be linked there. None of that. So definitely, gear up to get some backlinks as soon as you see that the person has published your information. Put it on your website. Like wow. That which brings me to the number 2 way to actually leverage this, and that's to create a press page. A press page or a media page or something that says for the media is really a page that is designed for journalists, and it's used to provide the material that journalists will need. So it's going to have your high-res images on there. It's going to have a list of every piece of exposure that you've gotten from whatever articles, posts, or, stuff like that can up your authority. So journalists will often look for a page like this when they're determining your credibility. They want to see where you've been published. So if you put on there, I've gotten so many guest posts, I've appeared in these magazines, I've appeared in these newsletters, I've appeared in these newspapers, I've appeared online here, I guested on this TV show, I guested on this online radio show, whatever. You put that on there, and oftentimes, don't think that something is too small to put up there. If you've appeared somewhere other than on your site, you need to be putting it up there. Put it up on your press page or your media page or your for the media page, whatever you call it. I want you to list that stuff because it's all about building those backlinks up and creating the press page. Now, sometimes, as I said, going back to the backlinks, you won't know if the person has created the article or not. So what you need to do is go to Google Alerts, and just Google Alerts. I think it's google.alerts.com or alerts.google.com, sorry. Go there, set up an alert for your website, for your company name and for your website and for your name. Set up those 3 alerts. Your name, whatever your name is, mine will be Carol J. Dunlop, and then your company. My company is Creative Services International or CSI Inc. I go by those 2. And your website. So mine would be www.csicorporation.com or csicorporation.com. So you would set up those 3 alerts to let you know, hey, every time this thing is mentioned, I want you to alert me and let me know so you can know when people are talking about you. Because if you're really, really what we're calling a HARO stalker, then you want to know when things are published because you're putting out a lot of queries, right? So they may not always tell you. They may not always say thank you. They're on deadline. They mean to. They forget. So this way, you know that you've already got your bio and everything in there. You've got a link back to your website. When you send them the query, so when they put that in the article that they're writing, and most of them, a lot of them, are online or they have online versions of even their paper thing, then Google will say, hey, your name was just mentioned here. Hey, your website was mentioned here. And you can see what that's all about. And then When you find the ones that you've appeared on as far as being interviewed or they've quoted you, then, of course, what do? You put them on your press page. See how that works together? So this is from sonaspr.com. It says, make it impressive or don't do it. The impression that you want to convey here is, wow, these people get a lot of press. They must be important. So load up this section of your website with articles featuring you and your spokespeople. Now, if you don't get a lot of press, probably because you may not have a PR agency or person in place, but you can start and end the news section and load it up with all the press releases that you've written, all the pieces that have actually mentioned you or your company, and, design it. Make it look neat. If you don't know how to do it, then you can contact me because I am a web designer, and I will help you lay out that page. But you want to remember that you're conveying how important and worthy your stories are. So if you're going to put the publication logo on there and tell about all these stories that you're putting out, make it look good and make it look neat. Now, you can do some of these things yourself. Like if you can go to canva.com and create a professional-looking image that can go on the page and stuff. But for the most part, you want to have it professionally designed because you don't need to skimp on this. Because the thing is, if you're trying to get people to pay you, and I always say that, to pay you, give you money, utilize your services, you want to look professional. You want to look like, hey, I'm worthy of this. So don't be trying to cut corners and do some cheapo-looking thing and just throw it up there, and then you're asking people, hey, go look at this because this looks great, right? And they're like, not, and they're not going to pay for it. They're not going to try to hire you because they're looking at, if they did a shoddy job on this, what kind of job are they going to do with something that I give them? So you always got to think about that. I know several years ago when I was running my other company and I had a radio show for that also, I would actually go out and look when I was using HARO a lot more than I'm using it now. I would send out queries for HARO people to, for people who are using HARO to get on my radio show. And I remember this one girl, she connected with me, and she was like, oh, I'd love to be on your show and talk about, it was some coaching program she was doing. So she sent me her information, her website, and what she did. And when I went to look at her website, now her coaching programs were not cheap. They were a couple $1,000s. But when I looked at her website, how about she was on a free website platform? And it said it. Designed free with, I don't remember who exactly designed it, but it was free. And I'm like, really? So I asked her, I said, have you ever had someone say something to you about you being on a free site and you're asking them for money? She was like, no, it hasn't been a problem. But you know what? I didn't even bring her as a guest on my show because I just thought it was not, I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. Because here she was asking for thousands of dollars, even if she hadn't had one client. And I have no idea how many clients she had because, some people are perpetrators. They act like they've, made a lot of money or that they are making a lot of money when they haven't made anything. But come on, if you're going to perpetrate, even the best con men spend money they may not be your money, but they spend money to get themselves looking good. When they come in there, they are, because I love American greed. I digress a moment. I love American greed. But when they are coming to get you to spend money with them, they look like money. That's why I was saying, even if it's not their money, it's, somebody else's money, they spend money, they look like money. So if you want people to think about you saying, I want to interview you for this show, I want you to be on my blog, I want you to do such and such, you've got to look that way. You can't just slap anything up on your site and say, hey, this gives me credibility. No, look at what's pointing to you. Look at what you're doing. Look at the articles you put out there and make it look neat. Don't make it look like a third grader or a fifth grader did it. You're much better than that. You, put your best foot forward because people are going to be looking at that to see if they want to interview you and, make you, because the thing is when they're interviewing you, they're kind of like solidifying your authority, your expertise, and they're saying, hey, this person is someone who is worthy of me interviewing, who is worthy of bringing into my circle, or worthy of me introducing to my people. So that's kind of what HARO does for you. It gives you the credibility, it showcases your authority, and it says, hey, this person, because I asked an expert question and I got experts to respond to this. People believe I think it's 70% of the things they read. If they read something, especially online on the internet, but they read something in the newspaper or whatever, and you're showcased there, not an ad, not an advertisement, but in the editorial where they're writing a story, somebody wrote a story, and then they mention you. We interviewed so and so, and this person who is the owner of blah blah blah. Immediately, your cool points go up, your brownie points go up, your expertise goes up in that person's mind. And with today, how they can find people, then they're going to Google you or Bing you or Yahoo you or whatever the search engine that you like. They're going to find out who you are, and they're going to connect with you. You'd be surprised at how many people come to me, they're searching the internet and they find me and it's like, oh, I found your page, like, wow, what were you searching for? And then tell me, and then it's the exact thing that I wanted them to find me on. So just be very, very careful what you put out there because it will bring you in business. So we've got those two ways. The third thing that you can do to leverage your exposure on HARO, besides, building those backlinks up and creating that press page, is to tell people and to show people, hey, I've been featured in this magazine, this online thing. Tell your Facebook friends and on your profile, say, hey, I'm going to be in this article next week. I'm going to be on this show next week. And so you're letting the people who are your friends on Facebook, your Twitter followers, and people in Pinterest and stuff, and LinkedIn especially, because that's business, that, hey, I'm important. People are interviewing me. So you're sharing the wealth with them, right? You're letting them know, hey, folks, I'm important. What I have to say is important, and the stuff that I do is important. So important that people are actually interviewing me. I'm going to be on the show, and they don't know how you got there unless you tell them, hey, I use HARO, which is nothing wrong with that, but they're instantly looking at you like, wow, that's amazing. So these are your friends and your close followers and stuff. The other thing you do in sharing that knowledge is create a blog post about it, or create a post on LinkedIn, or create a post on Facebook on your actual business page and say, hey, my company, I'm going to be interviewed on so-and-so, I'm going to appear on this, and then that adds extra credibility to you as a business owner, to your business for what it's doing, and to you for running that business. So share on your personal profiles, share on your business profile, and just let people know, hey, I'm on so-and-so, and then tell them, hey, I am looking for other places to appear on. Do you know anyone? That's the third thing you need to do. You need to just tell people, let people know, and then ask them, do you know anywhere that I could, that's looking for someone like me, an expert like me, that I could appear on, another radio show, a blog I could guest post on, or a TV show I could appear on, an internet TV show, or internet radio? Who do you know? Get into your network and ask them, because most people are very willing to help you. And then also it lets you know that people are out there to help you. You're looking to them because you're like, wow, she's important. Someone has interviewed her, and now she's asking me to help her. Oh, that's so great. It just doesn't take a lot to make people feel good. And then when they find out that they can help you by giving you the name or or connect you with other people, they're like, wow, that's so awesome. I was able to help you. It makes them feel good, too. It makes you feel good, and you have this connection going, even if you never met that person before. If you're in a Facebook group or on Twitter, people are always willing to help. People are just, I think, genuinely good deep down inside, and they want to help others in the best way that they can. So now we've learned all we can about HARO, what it is, how to use it, examples, how to leverage it. And I want to let you know that next week I will not have a show next week because I'm actually going to be teaching a how to get clients with social media workshop. I had this before I think it was, and I did actually have to postpone it. So this is the one that this is the postponed one that I'm able to do now, and I wanted to give you the information so you can sign up for it if you'd like to. It's going to be here in Atlanta. Okay, I'm going through here. It's going to be here in Atlanta, like I said, and it's going to be next Thursday, the 29th, from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we're going to learn all about how to get clients using social media. Here we go. I had to find the exact thing to tell you. Okay, so if you go to PROFDEV, C Dunlop, so that's PROWIN, PROWIN.com /PROFDEV, CDUNLOP. So it's short for Professional Development, Prof. Dev C Dunlop. It'll be from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's how to get clients using social media. So I'll show you how you can get clients using social media. Of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about HARO and how that works, but basically, if you are using social media and you're really tired of not being able to profit from it, make money from it, get clients from it, then you need to come out there. You need to come out there, and I will help you. So that's next June 29th, how to get clients using social media, and it's www.prowin.com /PROFDEVCDUNLOP. Prof. Dev C. Dunlop. I hope to see you there. And actually, and that's it. I hope that you've learned a lot from us talking about HARO and how you can use it and how you can actually be a social media star, a PR star, a business star, whatever. Get your name out there and get people, coming to you because of the exposure that you've gotten from using HARO, and then leveraging that to get more media exposure. Because once you start getting exposure, more people will see you, more people will actually want to connect with you, and more people want to interview you, talk to you, find out more about what you're doing. So that's kind of how the whole thing works. So until I won't be here next Thursday, but the Thursday after that, and that is starting a new month, and we'll have a new theme. We'll be able to talk what we will be talking about. I'll tell you all about that. And if you want to stay up to date with what I am doing, and plus get 7 ways for you to attract clients, go to my website, csicorporation.com, and you can download the 7 client getting strategies. You'll get on my list so I can keep you updated as to what's going on. You'll find out about the book and where I'm appearing and all that good stuff. So, and if you have any questions, you can also connect with me from the site too. So I look forward to speaking with you and helping you out with anything that I can. So until next time, just keep it going, keep marketing, keep yourself out there in front, because people are waiting on you. You have a story to tell, you have a story to share, you have a piece of your brain that you can share with people to actually help them do what they do better. So don't ever forget that. And I'll see you next time.
Football is my dream.
For Spencer James,
I want you to come play for me.
Beverly Hills, huh?
Yes, sir.
the whole game is about to change.
I don't belong here.
This is your way out.
From executive producer Greg Berlanti comes the new show inspired by the incredible true story.
I'm asking you to play for something bigger now.
Because when you do, you'll be unstoppable.
Run for your life. All-American. Series premiere right after the season premiere of Riverdale. Tonight on the CW.
It all starts at 8 p.m. Riverdale, followed by All-American, only on Pix 11, the CW.